not going to talk about is why I'm awake. Actually, that's a damn lie. So I woke up, pardon me, and I couldn't breathe. And I like breathing. So um obviously had a little bit of conflict there. I probably sound like a frog. That's because my sinuses are stoofy. This is the second time in I think a week where I have woke up and I could not fucking breathe. It's great. It's so wonderful. You know, like fantastic. So I decided since I can't sleep and I can't breathe, we're just gonna fucking play games. Right? Okay. So, to hell with it, right? I can't do anything else with my time, so I might as well do this. Oh, good gravy. I also haven't played in a while, I feel like. That sounds right. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. So, we're just gonna indulge in the inattentiveness that is me wanting to organize all of my gameplay. Yep. What is this? Boom. So here we are, just getting our harvest on. Alright, so what have we here? Oh, we have one more. Haha. Alright, awesome. So that's clearly the right thing to do. It's not. It really isn't. I need more space. Can you see this? Like, this is not enough space. I need this right here. I need this right here. I definitely need this right here. I don't know what happens after I get all these things though. That's like a great question. I have no idea. Like, is there a limit? Can I only get so much like stuff? I don't know. Oh, look at that progress. Nice. Yeah, I don't want that right now. Yeah, go away. Go away. So let's see. Do we have another coin? It doesn't look like it. Oh, great. And now we don't have any more of those. Son of a biscuit. Good gravy. Yeah. So, I do know that I can make something with that. Oh, gravy. Alright, what we got here? Looky Loo! Coins. Excellent. I feel like Mr. Burns every time I say that. Hell to the yeah. I thought I saw another coin, but I gotta tell you, I don't know if that's true. I don't know. I might just be thinking of the coins that I already have collected. Which sounds like that's what's going on there. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and make. I really need to play this game more often. Like, I could have just so much more if I did. I really should. But alas, poor Yorick. I gotta tell you, I'm never gonna get over the fact that that fucking douche canoe did not, like, he didn't get it. Like, what? That's mean. That's fucking mean. Whatever. I'm mad about it. I didn't say I was nice. I really didn't. And if you thought that's what I said, you are mistaken. Grossly. So here we are. Just doing the most. Come on. Rocket science. So earlier when I was on, and by earlier I mean fucking last night, I was, like, my brain was fritzing out. I don't know if you noticed, but my ability to, like, construct sentences was not so great, which occasionally happens, and I'm stressed out, so I feel like it's happening a little more often than normal for me. So, here we are. Anyway. I tried to do some work. It did not work. Like, I went to look for something, realized I have no idea where it is, and just said, you know what? I give up. I give up. I'm done. Today, I'm done with today. I can't anymore. Like, I feel like, you know, if you've ever seen, just like an animal, just like fall over on its side, just like, we're done. No more today. Yeah, like that's kind of where I was with it. It's like, no mas, thanks. Thanks for playing. Like, what? I can't even anymore. That's what it is. I could not even anymore. Oh no, we've run out of space. Okay, so now it's imperative that I make some matches. I guess that's what these are? Well, merges. I'm sorry, not matches. Whatever. See? I can't even still. Jesus. There's gotta be something here I can put with other things. Right? Right? There's gotta be. I don't know if that's true. Well, we're not watching an ad, that's for sure. Let's see. Oh, well, we can put these together. Oh. Do I have another one of those somewhere? Great question. Great question. I don't think so. Oh, good gravy, Miss Daisy. We're just trying to get by. So, the topic of today was I'm tired of this shit at work. And I'm going to seek different employment. Yeah. I still feel some kind of way about it, honestly. Like, I low-key feel like a failure that I'm bailing. But I can't. Like, I cannot survive off of what I'm getting. On top of that, it's physically grueling labor, which I don't have a problem with. Okay, like, I really don't. But it's physically grueling. It came to my attention that I have to get surgery, which is super awesome. And I can't. I guess it's honestly, so really, hold on. We're gonna have to do something. Let's see. Going to be right back. Okay, I'm back. As you can tell, I still can't breathe. Oh, joy. So, for those of you playing along at home, um, it's story time. I feel like I haven't told a story in a while. Let's do this. So, once upon a time, whoa, that's not what I meant to move. I used to work in the medical field. All right. Yeah, now before you go, oh, look at you. Yeah, don't do that. 'Cause it's not that altruistic. And I am an altruistic person, but no. So when I was in high school, I was in a nursing class. I took this nursing class because I had every intention at that point in my life of going on to become a doctor. Specifically, going into forensic pathology, by the way. This was a snap decision, kind of made out of the blue, off of a random comment made to me, which just makes it sound worse. Like, so much worse. Like, I am not the kind of person to, like, make a point to make snap decisions like that, right? Like, if you were to meet me now, you know I don't do anything quickly. Like, at all. And, that's because I like to think about things. I like to work them out, and I like to do them in the best and most efficient manner. And usually just kind of bull in a china shop, but yeah, that doesn't work. I'm looking for stuff, by the way. If you're new here and you don't know how I play this game, first of all, I filled my game board till I can't see anything anymore because I've got this weird, obsessive, compulsive desire to do this, which is not effective as a means of gameplay. So I don't know why I keep doing it, other than I can't help myself. Like, I've developed this weird habit, now I can't stop. Anyway, whatever. Whatever. So, high school. I'm in high school. And I'm in my nursing class. Now, I was taking AP classes and I was running track. Okay. All of this, by the way, to look good to get into school. I didn't run track because I liked running track. I ran track because I'm not a team player. As you can see from the games that I like to play, I'm playing by myself. Because I'm good with that. Right? Like, seriously. So, ta-da! Finally. It's like, I don't, like, I need a sign. It just does not play well with others. Because I don't. Like, I'm not a team player. I don't want to be. I want to be left to my own devices, is what I want to be. Like, just, if you need me to do something, cool. Say, hey, I need this done. I'll do it. I'll let you know when I'm done. And then we can just move on, right? We don't, this doesn't have to be a thing, all right? So, they had some kind of job fair at one of the local colleges. And I grew up in a small town, so, like, the local college was, like, a good 45 minutes away. For whatever reason, and I'm pretty sure it's because I was in class, because I had all the AP classes were before, like, school started, I couldn't go to this job fair. So when I came back, or when class day started, right, I had a bunch of people to include my nursing instructor, go and tell me, oh, wow, you would have loved talking to the pathologist. And I had no idea what a pathologist was at the time. So I looked it up. Now, there are different types of pathology, and clinical pathology is one of them. And that, to oversimplify this, okay, for story time, that is somebody who takes, like, lab specimens, like, you go to the hospital and you get a biopsy. That person can look at those things, okay, and kind of see what's going on, right? Diagnose is not necessarily the exact right way to say it, but this is like the radiologist interprets the radiological. It's kind of like that. Now, okay, look, I'm tired. It's early in the morning. I clearly don't have enough oxygen going to my brain, so don't fucking at me about that. All right, I don't know. Go away with that. That was my understanding at the time, and we're just gonna go with it. Anyway. Anyway. So, I don't like the living. This is just getting ominous now. And when I was really small, I wanted to work in bacteriology or virology, because I was that kind of weird, morbid kid who liked disease processes. So this, kind of looked like it was right up that alley, because, it kind of was. So, the options, right, were to do nothing else. Like, I was going to go to school. Like, I was going to go to college because that was the expectation of me, which is, at this point in my life, why I'm weird about it. Like, what? Like, if you want to go to school, cool, awesome, I fully support this. If you're going to school because you think you have to, I got some feelings about that. Mostly because you're going to get into a ton of debt. For what reason? Like, you better damn well do something with all the education you got. Because otherwise, you have just racked up a ridiculous bill that you could have avoided. And still, like, you can learn things outside of college, okay? Just, if you didn't know, that's totally possible. And I'm not telling people not to go to school. I think education is fucking amazing, and it needs, like, you need to do that. What's not amazing is the amount of pressure that we put on people to go to college specifically, just to get a degree that in the end may not fucking matter. Like, so that's not great. So anyway, I knew I was going to go to school because I was raised that that's what I was going to do, which is why I have issues now as an adult. Well, one of the reasons. Hooray. If you're raising children, please don't do this to them. It's fucking damaging. I'm still recovering, and I don't know that I'm doing so good. I don't. Anyway, I would not call myself well-adjusted. That would be a lie. So, anyway, oh look, there we go. What? Stop it. So, I basically made a snap decision that I would go into this. And because I'm an overachiever, apparently, didn't know this. Yay. Thanks, Mom. Not only did I decide that I would go into forensic pathology, at some point, I also decided that forensic anthropology needed to be added to that list. Alright, so you want to know what a forensic anthropologist does? Think of the TV show Bones. That's what Bones was. That was her job. She would identify things about people through specifically the remains. Which again, right, the whole forensics thing, that all the whole dead bodies, not the living, totally right. Um, in line with everything that we've thus we have thus discovered. So that was the plan. I was gonna go somewhere that had a forensics program. I knew I wanted to go close enough to home that if I needed to come home, I could, but far enough away that my mother couldn't show up on my doorstep. Like, if for some, like, and look, I'm not saying that I was like doing anything I quote unquote shouldn't have been doing. I just, I don't like being dropped in on. I find it to be intensely irritating and fucking rude. Uh, it's like the one bit of like rudeness I personally care about. So yeah, no thanks. Um, so like my options at the time that I was aware of was like New York, Florida, and like maybe somewhere in Pennsylvania, and that was all on the East Coast. And then I heard about um, this school here, VCU, which is in Richmond, which is um, where I live. And I heard about it because of my mother's third husband, who was from Richmond. He was living in the Richmond area. Hold, please. Okay, sorry. Anyway, um, so I heard that this was a program that they offered. And I said, okay, well, that meets the requirements. So, okay, also, don't suggest doing this. I applied to go to VCU, and that was pretty much it. And I made the decision, which sounds kind of preposterous, like in some ways, but is also, no, that sounds like you. I made the decision that I was going here, and that was that. That was kind of it. That was it. Like I'm going here. They're gonna accept me. So I did not like make any serious moves to apply anywhere else for anything else. Right? And I didn't have to take a forensic program to get into medical school, right? Like generally speaking, when you're going to go in medical school, you're going to go into some graduate program. It makes sense, and they often encourage you to do certain majors and undergrads that like relate to what you're doing, right? Could you get a creative writing degree and become a doctor? I mean, yeah, sure, in theory. But if you can't science, and that's not where you're not sciencing, and you're going into a science field or a field that's related to science, I mean, I think you're probably gonna have some troubles, and you might want to think about that, or not. Don't. Hey, don't let anybody discourage you from doing shit your own way. Fuck it. Right? Hold, please. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. I was talking to you and you couldn't hear me. I said something about it being super weird. I'm making friends with this menthol. It's cough drops. Gives the whole menthol. It helps me breathe a little bit better. Not for long, but for a little bit. So anyway, by the way, I'm in my junior year of high school with all this. And I made the decision I'm gonna go into forensics. I'm gonna go to med school. Um, by my account and research. I need to get out of using the word research because research actually means something very specific, and most people are using it and using it improperly because research implies a couple of things that I definitely like wasn't doing, right? But by my reading and just looking into the subject, right? Um, going and going into forensic pathology was going to have me in school for 17 years. And that is between undergrad, grad, like internship, fellowship, all that stuff. Now, like I said, I like school. I like education. So telling me I was going to be in school forever? Okay. Now, I don't know if you've noticed this, right? But if I'm in school that long for that much, this is like literally shit I did not think about. I don't have a lot of time, if any, for anything else. Okay. Let's file that one away. So, I'm just gonna go to school forever. That's where we are right now. Which again, for me was fine. I was fine with that. Now I was gonna make the fact that I was probably gonna make six figures. The fact that there's other things were like just icing on the cake. I also decided that I was gonna be a medical examiner, which is kind of a big deal. Like, I wanted to be the medical examiner, even though technically there's not a single medical examiner for anywhere. I wanted to be the chief medical examiner for Virginia because, again, fucking overachiever. Thanks, Mom. So, that was the goal. So I'm going to be in school for 17 years. At no point did I think about having kids, having a relationship, having a social life. None of that was part of that plan. I was just like, you're going to go to school forever. And I was like, okay. 10 out of 10 don't recommend. Like, look, there's nothing wrong with people who don't want to have kids. Fuck yeah. You don't want to have kids? Don't have kids. There's nothing wrong with people who don't want to get married or don't want to have a relationship. Fuck yeah. Now, the not having a social life, we're gonna make a face about that. We're gonna make a face about that. Because humans are social creatures, and we can argue it's not gonna be real great for your mental health if you don't socialize in some way at some point. Now, right, there's always outliers. There's always people that will be just fucking fine. And so if you're one of those people, cool. Awesome. Go for it. Do you, boo. So, that's how we made the decision. Now, I got accepted into VCU, by the way. Ooh. I got 3 years into my schooling, and then my mother died, and sent me into a depressive tailspin, which just everything went downhill after that, really badly. I basically got cheated out of school because of a legal technicality I was not aware of, because why would I be aware of something that I didn't expect to happen? The short version is, if you were going to school and you were still, under a certain age, which I do believe was 23. It was 23 or 24. And your parent, who's been signing your financial aid, right, despite the fact that that doesn't imply that they're actually going to make a contribution, because that's just not how that works, which, by the way, sounds really fucking backwards. But okay. Like, why does their information have to be on there if they're not gonna fucking contribute? And they're not supporting you? Like, wait a minute, what? Okay, whatever, guy. So, yeah, I have feelings about that. I don't know if you could tell. But because she was married when she died, her surviving spouse had to sign it. The only exception to that would have been if I had emancipated myself or I had been married. Needless to say, I actually was married at like 21. So theoretically, if I had just held out a little longer, I could have like made that happen. But I had no idea or intention of like being married. Like, that was not like something I was considering even. So yeah. So I went to school for 3 years, and then my mother died, and yay, depressive tailspin. To the point of, I literally failed out of some classes. I failed out of my ethics class, or it was a philosophy class, I think, because I stopped going. That's it. Like, that's why I failed out. Like, that's a pretty reasonable reason to fail out of a class, but the fact that I failed out of, like, my philosophy class, like, philosophy of ethics or something like that, was ridiculous. Like, the amount of ridiculous that was just too much. It was too high. Like, what? And yeah, that's exactly what happened. And so, I got into being an exotic dancer at that point. Partially because my mother was dead, and so I wouldn't have to explain it to her. If she'd asked me what I was doing, I didn't have to hedge. Like, that's legit part of why that happened. That sounds terrible, but like, facts, peeps. Anyway, so yeah, I joined the military, ended up getting married, divorced twice, had 2 kids, and here we are. Now, during all this time, right, I've moved around, I've been in lots of relationships, pretty much all of them have been absolutely horrific, and that was exciting, you know. Yay, trauma. It's just fucking glorious. And one of the things that happened when my mother died is she died at 40. Now, okay, we gotta be so about putting stuff about yourself on the internet, right? Because the internet doesn't forget. I'm 37 though, like now. I was in my 20s when she died, like around 20. Actually exactly 20, yeah. So I was half my mother's age when she died. And hi, mortality. How you doing? Like, I did not have this, like, weird delusion or idea that I wasn't gonna die or anything like that. I just, you know, it wasn't the plan to happen soon. As you can see, I managed. So that's cool. Although that's vaguely insensitive because I do know somebody personally who actually died and, like, was clinically dead, which was like a very specific circumstance for like long enough to suffer like physiological and psychological trauma from it. Goldilocks, if you ever see this, yeah, my bad. Like, so anyway, just don't mind me while I fill my game board up again. Hi, person. So, I made a snap decision to get into a specific field, and then everything went downhill. And Yeah. So when my mother died, I was like, she's 40. That's not old. Um, and I'm not going to say like that was scary or anything like that, but just in case you haven't faced your mortality, yeah, you're gonna, when you lose someone, especially if it seems like you lose them at like too soon, like at an early age, or like via an accident, something that could have not happened, right? So there's this quote, I don't know who it is by, it doesn't really fucking matter, but um, I heard it from Wayne Dyer, who, don't at me, I don't want to hear it. I heard at the time, and basically the communication was, don't die with your music in you. Like, don't just exist to and like not do something that really matters to you. Which I mean, no, I'm on board with that. And I've always wanted to be an artist. Like, I knew when I was little that it was something I wanted to do. Like, when I retired and was no longer working for someone else, my intention was to be an artist. Like, it's like 100%. Unfortunately, I had someone that I respected and cared about tell me that I would never make money making art, and it was essentially a waste of my time. Uh, that is still in my head. It's incredibly damaging. And if you are caregiving for like young people, okay, if you are like, don't do that to people. That is like, I'm 37, and that's still fucking me up to this day because I cared about what that person thought. Spoiler alert, it was my mother. Okay, so I had somebody get really mad, and they were like, that person is stupid or an asshole. And I'm like, you might want to watch what you say because that was my mother. And they were like, oh, well, it was not great. I'm like, no, it wasn't great. But before you like stick your foot fully in your mouth, you might want to know what's going on, because basically, right, the long story short there is that that's complicated. So I decided, having like come across the fact that she ended up dying sooner, and the amount of time that she was making art, which just makes that fucking statement she made even more fucked up, like, right, the amount of time that she was making art, and like that was her job, was really short. And I was like, well, what we're not going to do is make that mistake. So that's when I like officially, I guess a couple of years later, like I officially started my career as an artist. Like, I had been making art and been creating things before that, but that's when I started like making an effort to sell my work. So anyway, um, a lot of meandering, a lot of changes, a lot of things not working out, a lot of bad relationships, a lot of moves, and here we are today. Twice married, twice divorced, 2 kids. I just did everything in twos. Yay! That wasn't planned. It's an accident. Just happened like that. So, and I don't really feel any kind of way about it. Like, that's my life. That's what happened. What else? Okay. So the whole thing is, I made a snap decision to go to school for something because of a comment somebody made, which doesn't sound like me because I'm extremely analytical and I think things to death. And I don't do anything. I'm like, I would say, so I need one more of those, huh? Yeah, I would say I'm like the exact opposite of spontaneous, right? So like, I'm also like trying to date right now, and I'm failing at that, by the way. Because let's that'd be fine. It'd be fun. It'd be fun. Ooh, look, there we go. This is why I try to put these things like next to each other so they're easier for me to find, because I don't have my glasses on because I need new glasses. And it's making it super hard to like see things at this size. So, hey, so much for going back to sleep, huh? That didn't work out. So the fact that we're circling back to the present. We did a little time travel. The fact that I'm considering changing the career / industry that I'm going into, like, not what I'm gonna do like for serious, because that is my art and other work that I do, and that's not changing. But I mean, like, what we're doing in the meantime and to survive off of, right? The fact that I'm gonna suddenly change that because of like a random bit of information is also kind of a pattern I have. So apparently this is how I make decisions. I make decisions one of two ways. Either I think the absolute hell out of it, which is my standard, and that's usually what I'm doing. Let's open this. Bananas. Or, B-A-N-A-N-A-S. Or, I just make a fucking decision suddenly. Like, those are the two options. Which sounds ridiculous. But, like, seriously, that's how it happens. So, whatevs, peeps. But it's also, like, strangely on brand for me. Which is just fucking weird. It's just weird. So, I'm just, like, seriously laughing at myself, though. Like, this shit's happening again. Like, apparently this is what we're doing. Okay. So yeah, I'm going back into the medical field. Oh yeah. Okay. So let's go back. Time travel again. Let's go back to high school. So in my nursing class, right, I found this out, and I took a nursing class because it was available. Because I lived in a small town, and like opportunities like that to like learn a skill or a trade or whatever were like really sparse. And I don't know why my high school had a nursing program. I still, to this day, I still don't know why. Like, that seemed really fucking random. Like, it's great. It was a wonderful opportunity, right? Because it meant that I didn't have to get like your typical high school teenager job. Like, I didn't have to work in fast food. I didn't have to work in the grocery store. And look, if that is what you did growing up, if that's what you did as a young adult, if that is what you're doing now, those jobs are necessary and people need to do them. And there's nothing wrong with that. I didn't want to make that choice because I wanted to do something that was in line with where I was going. And that made sense for me to go into nursing, because if I was going to go to med school, then in my brain, I'm not saying this is relevant or real or true, but in my brain it was like, oh, well, if you're going to go to med school and you've already worked in medicine, that totally is going to be helpful, right? And I'm like, yeah, sure. That's not necessarily true, but it sounded right. It sounded right. So there we go. Anyway, so I got into nursing by chance. I got into going into the field, like, with the intention of going to school for it and all that, by chance. Like, random fucking comments, which is just really, really fucking weird when you think about it. And Yeah. So, okay, I guess. Well, I worked in nursing from the ages of 16 while I was still in high school until 30. Which is like roughly right before I had my daughter or so, I finally let my nursing license, um, which was actually a certification. Like, it's called licensing because that's the word that they like to use, but it's certification, so don't. People are like, "You're a nurse," and I'm like, not like that, no. I hate having to, they're like, "Oh my god, can you?" No, I can't. Don't ask me questions like that. Like, ethically, no. Like, skill wise, no. Go away. Stop. Do I sound even more froggy? Because I think I do. So, anyway, that was the thing. I was going to go into nursing. It was going to give me a good job. I was going to get my foot in the medical door. I was going to go to college. I was going to go to med school. I was going to be the chief medical examiner. At no point did I think about having a relationship or having children or where I was going to live. Like, I mean, I think I pretty much kind of set that I was going to live in Virginia because that's where I was going. Um, but like, that was it. Like, that was all decided, and that was that. Like, that was that. There was, that's it. That's what was going to happen. And then when my mother died, just like everything went to shit, pretty much. Um, and then, all this unresolved trauma that I've gotten to discover over the years, that's super fun. Hooray! Can you tell how excited I am? I can. So now we've come full circle, um, doing this, like some of these patterns again, and it's like, wow, really? This is what we're doing? Answer: yes, yes. This is like 100%. Let's see what we're doing. Um, which is really just me laughing at myself because it seems so incongruent with who I am. And yet, in practice, it really isn't. It's really on point in some ways, which is fucking terrible. I really, really need to get new glasses. Do my friends hate me, or do I just need to go to sleep? Yeah, we're kind of reaching that point too. How long have we been playing? Holy sugar! Almost an hour. Cool. Yeah. The goal when I stream is to stream for like no less than an hour. Or like right at. Like if I'm at 57 minutes, that's really close. And the whole reasoning behind that is because I guess like streaming for any less of a period of time seems like silly and like a waste. Um, so yeah. Anyway. Whoa now. Holy shit! I didn't know you could do that. Cool. I've been playing this game for a while and I'm still like learning things about it because it's a merge game, right? So what's in that is like extra awesome stuff. Cool. We're gonna just keep that bad boy right there so I can get like mega awesome stuff later. So yeah. Um yeah, the whole thing with the garage it's a whole bunch of no. So I let my nursing lessons lapse, and I gotta tell you, there was a distinct feeling of relief when I did that. So theoretically, that was the right decision for me to make at the time, right? Because it was obviously causing me grief and was just making me really unhappy to like keep maintaining it when I hated the job so much. And here's the thing, I worked in gerontology, so I worked with your grandparents. That's who I worked with. And I was actually really good at it. And while I'm not fucking personable, like at all, I can manage with cranky old people really well. Which is funny, especially because I have like zero tolerance for bullshit. And a lot of the times, that's what you're getting from that group of people is a bunch of bullshit. But I think part of why, and this is just some food for thought for you, part of why I was able to manage so well is because I didn't do to you whatever brought you into the nursing home, right? I'm not the reason your health wasn't great. I'm not the reason that you were put in a home. I'm I'm there to help you. And so even if you're being a grumpy asshole to me, you're not it's not about me. And because it's not about me, I don't have to feel any kind of which is this is my kind of standard about this. I don't have to feel any kind of way about something that's not about me and doesn't actually have anything to do with me. Like, you can blame me for something, but if I didn't do it, I didn't fucking do it. And because of that, I was like dealing with people who were like pissed off or grumpy or bad tempered because their health was failing or they weren't feeling good didn't phase me. Like, some people would take it to heart and like be upset about it and feel some kind of way. And I am not that person. I Oh, look at that. I got another one of those. Let's see if I can find if I can get another one that's badass. See if I can make it even bigger. That's what she said. But like I don't take that on. And so that kind of thing doesn't bother me. And that puts me at a distinct advantage because that detachment means that I don't take on like I don't take responsibility for shit that's not mine. And I'm pretty good about doing that. I'm not the greatest. Like obviously I definitely still fuck up like a lot. But that's one thing I'm really good at not doing. Like, not taking the blame for stuff like that. Which is great because taking the blame for something that is not in your power, is not your fault, and it's not your responsibility is no bueno. Like, let's not do that, peeps. Okay? Ooh, piece of candy. So, um, I also worked with dementia patients a lot, and I think dementia patients are a fucking hoot. Okay? You can literally have a total nonsense conversation with these people, and depending on like how bad their dementia is, they're not gonna fucking remember. Which is not to say that you should have fucked up conversations with people because no, right? But like you could just randomly talk about whatever and that's cool. If you can engage them in conversation, all right. And apparently I'm really good because I'm fucking random at distracting people and like getting their minds off of stuff. Like, so I'm basically a human shiny object is what we're saying. Which, when you've got somebody who's agitated or isn't feeling well, that is an asset. Because I'm really good at, like, drawing people's attention away from things. Like, apparently, I would make a great magician's assistant. That's right. Misdirection! Anyway. So, working at the garage happened because I left nursing, 6 or so years ago. And then all this second marriage went to shit, right? All that failed and everything. Everything went downhill. And in the aftermath, I went from, being a stay-at-home mom and working for myself exclusively on the side to congratulations, you now have to make everything work on your own again. You're a winner. I'm like, well, that's great. And by great, I mean awful. So I struggled because, according to like society, I hadn't worked in like 6 years. And then, of course, they want to know why. Like, why'd you leave? And while you can't really discriminate against somebody who left for, to take care of their kids or whatever, or to do that, ooh, progress. Um, People also don't have to tell you why they didn't fucking hire you, and they usually don't. So, while the case may be that they can't discriminate against you, if you don't know that's what they're doing, you can't really do anything about that, can you? Yep. So, here we are. Well, I finally got in somewhere. I ended up working at Amazon. Amazon's awful to work for, and I don't have any fucking qualms telling you that. Um, Talk to anybody who works there, like, and I'm not talking about their IT people because I don't know. But like anybody who physically like works there, who has to work on stocking their shelves or getting things off of them or whatever. Yeah, it's a fucking nightmare. It really is. Um, the standards of what they expect of you are not fucking realistic. Um, and it's a problem. Like, that's a nice way of putting it. It's a fucking problem. So I stayed there as long as I could. I actually got to the point where I couldn't walk at the end of the day, which was super fun. Um, Not to mention the commute was a bear. Um, and then I got in somewhere else. Like I had actually started a interim job, like a second job. This, by the way, is while maintaining the work that I was doing on the side. Okay, like I have not like stopped doing any of this. Like all of this has kept going on. So like I effectively at one point had 4 jobs. Super exciting, huh? Yeah. Super exciting. I'm gonna ask you to hold, please. Hold, please. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. I still can't fucking breathe. Hooray! Honestly, that's kind of part of why I'm still awake. That and this game is really easy to get sucked into. This, humans, is why I don't play video games, actually. Which is funny, because that's exactly what I'm doing right now, right? Yeah, I know. I know. So, I went to work for a company after I quit the second job that I got because um, the pay and the expectations of the job were not. Oh no. Did I freeze? Alright, hold on. We'll be right back. I think I'm gonna have to exit out of my game and come back. Okay. Sorry about that. Every now and then it freezes. I hope it didn't eat all my progress, but it might have. That would super suck. I'm not super attached to, like, where I am with this game, though. So, it doesn't look like it ate a bunch of it, so that's cool. Anyway. So, yeah, my brain's fritzing out, by the way. I went from Amazon to a company. Ooh, Mammoth Island. Fuck yeah. I don't think we've done Mammoth Island yet. The last one we did was Jackalopes. Oh, you know what? I have done Mammoth Island because I do have like some little baby fuzzy elephants. Okay. So. Yeah, this is exactly how I play all levels, by the way. So, I went to work for the second company, and they had some business practices that I really didn't like. I'm not necessarily speaking about, like, ethically, so much as they had some ways that they did business that was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, what? No. Um, and it got to the point where I was like, towards the end, I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I can't anymore. This is ridiculous. So that's when I jumped ship and ended up coming to where I work now, which is in a garage for a large chain. And one of the problems in the interim was I was trying to get into the trades. Like, I was trying to get into I was trying to get into electrical work, then I was trying to get into HVAC. Neither of those things worked, by the way. And I guess we're gonna have to open this chest. At some point, I was like, well, this isn't working, which is how I came to work for the second company. And I kept trying, by the way, to, like, get into the field, and it just wasn't. It just was not working. And so, like, at what point do you keep trying to do something and it doesn't work, right? I don't know. Like, I don't know what the time is that you should move on. Okay. I have no idea. But doing things forever is not, that's not gonna work. So, hold on. This whole not being able to breathe thing is the worst. Okay. So, yeah. Allergies suck, by the way. Not being able to breathe sucks. Like, dislike. So, we're gonna pause our gameplay for a minute because we need more tissues. And ow, fuck. Nothing like stubbing your toe. It's awesome, especially when your feet hurt. All right, friends. I think we need snacks if we're gonna fucking keep playing, because apparently going to sleep is not what. Ow, fuck. Jesus Christ. Don't mind me, just running into stuff in the dark. It's fine. It's totally fine. Oh, My feet are so upset. So upset. So, I got into the second business. And then, also important, between Amazon and the second place that I worked, I had a drop in pay. Okay. Not a huge drop. It was $1. But, ouch. Okay, we're looking for snacks, by the way. And that was enough that was like, ooh. So I was like, if you leave this place, which it got to the point where I had to, if you leave this place, you need to definitely not be going down in pay. Yeah, guess what we did? That's exactly what we did, actually. So I came to the third place because getting into the trades and making that work wasn't working. Like, just failing at life over here. Seriously. I'm trying to find a snack. Apparently, we don't have snacks. Actually, I can think of something I could make, but that is like a lot of work, and I don't know that I feel like doing that. What time is it? Oh, God, it's 5 in the morning. I don't know. I think we might do it. It's only going to take 2.5 minutes of my time, and I can play this game while I'm doing it. So apparently, what we're also going to do is if I can make food. Awesome. Maybe, actually, maybe. Let's see. This is what I get for not, like... Oh, you know what? We're gonna be terrible. We're gonna eat fucking peanut butter out of the jar. Because we're a fucking winner like that. With a child spoon, too. Fuck it. This is part of being an adult, okay? This is, like, the only good part. Is that you can do fucking shit like this. Meanwhile, I'm an adult and I still can't reach the top shelf. What the fuck? Alright. I also wanted to eat something that wasn't going to be super loud, so I wouldn't have to, like, keep muting you. On and off, on and off, on and off. And apparently I secretly want to torture the dog. That's not serious, peeps, okay? Just fucking calm down. Because, dogs love peanut butter. And she's going to be looking at me like, you're going to give me some of that, right? And the answer is no, because it's my peanut butter. Yep, she's already looking at me. Like, doing that little nose wiggle of, hey, I can have some of that, right? No. I actually bought this peanut butter that I have right now for chili, which sounds weird, but it works. I know I'm not going to tell you how, but it works. So anyway. We went from Amazon to A to B. So B was a pay cut. Now, what I will say is Amazon was super far away. The second place was closer. And this place is super close to, like, where I live. So, there's something to be said for that. And honestly, my commute being super, super small, totally part of why I'm here. Still. I also don't hate my coworkers. Well, I hated one of them. That jackass is gone. Fucking hooray. And now all I have to do is deal with this Cupcake. And Cupcake is kind of I think Cupcake is kind of the last straw for me. So while this seems like a real snap decision, and that's kind of how I've been describing it, it's not. Like, I've been thinking about this for a while. Because part of why I was going to get into the trades I'm trying to merge everything that's on the board, by the way, before I add anything to it. That's what we're doing right now. Because as you can see, I fill up my game boards really, really fucking quickly, which is not necessarily like a problem until I can't merge anything else because I don't quite have enough. Because I've got a thing where I only merge when I have 5 of something so I can get double the points. Strategy, people. So, I've been at this place 8 months, by the way, which for me is like for fucking ever. Because I don't work for other people really well. Um, this looks like an onion. I don't know if it is. I mean, I'm sure it's not. But it kind of reminds me of an onion. Let's turn that down because for me, that's super fucking loud. I don't know how bad it is for you. Hold, please. Oh my god. So the plan, by the way, was to feel better and go back to sleep. It doesn't seem to be happening. Alright. Oh well, I guess. So anyway. Okay, so I see what happened. Oh shit. That's not what I meant to do. It didn't eat like my progress per se, but it did eat some of the like where I put stuff. I am either the worst storyteller on the planet or the best one. Because I keep getting distracted. And so I keep forgetting where I am in the story. Which for some people has them hanging on because they're like, okay, I'm waiting. What's the rest of the story? And other people, like, by now have bailed and are like, fuck it, she's never going to tell the rest of the story. That's not true. I totally am. It's just going to take me a minute. So, on that note, back to the story. I think that's all the stuff out there that I can get. So let's get this one. Am I gonna eat this whole jar of peanut butter? Maybe. Fuck it. Adelaide's like, I will help you. She's like, I will make that sacrifice. I am here for you, mother. She's so supportive. What the hell? So, I've been thinking about this because I took a little education. I got a little education, excuse me. Took a little education. I don't think that's fucking right. I got a little education in the trades. Like a little. Like, not enough to shake a stick at. But, like, the way it was presented to me, and I'm not saying that this is fucking accurate, I'm, like, kind of low-key irritated about it. But the way it was presented to me, they were like, oh yeah, you can get this training and it can help you get a job. Okay, so that's not explicitly true. It's not explicitly not true. All right. How could that be? Well, I'm so glad you asked. So, does this education give you a slight leg up? Sure. Are you still competing with everybody else? Abso-fucking-lutely. Is your slight education going to trump somebody's experience? Absolutely not. So, knowing a little something is better than knowing absolutely nothing. But knowing something, I think this is the last bit of peanut butter I need to be eating. So I think I've pretty much just eaten half the jar. Fuck it. But knowing a little something that essentially is theory without practical experience doesn't hold up to experience. Okay. So, for those of you seeking training and education, think critically about what you are being sold. And I'm not saying that I didn't think critically, but the way it was presented to me definitely sounded one way, and the reality is a bit different. Now, that aside, because I know about these programs, I know that they have other options and avenues. So, do I want to go get an orange and cream soda out of my kitchen? I sure fucking do. Do I want to stand up again and possibly stub my toe like 8 more times? I sure don't. These are the problems that I have to solve. So, between, like, right before, I think it was, it was right around the time I started going to, right before I started working at Amazon, I started this training. And I started with electrical work, and then I did a little bit with HVAC, like later, and then I did some heavy equipment operation. I have worked in none of those fields, by the way, since then. And I finished my heavy equipment operating in fucking April of last year, apparently, according to my profile, which I had no idea. So, I might have lied about this, like, last thing of peanut butter. I might have another one. I don't know. Anyway, so I've been trying to get into the trades. It's not worked. Now, what I can tell you, here's a little life advice for y'all. Who you know fucking matters. If you have not learned this to this point, let me tell you, and it's not really a secret, but it's one of those things that people don't consider that really matters. If you know the right people, you can get your foot in the fucking door. And if you can get your foot in the door and you can, like, back up what you have to say and whatever, and you can put your money where your mouth is, you can make some shit happen. Now, if you can just get your foot in the door, you can get a little bit. If you put your money where your mouth is, you can get a little bit. But having both, infinitely better chances. So, I personally didn't know anybody in the trades. Now, I know friend, and friend knows somebody in the trades. But guy works for himself. So, while I am team small business, right, because I am one, I needed probably a bit more job security and support than I was going to get from working with an individual in a smaller operation. So, two things. Yes, we're definitely going to go get more peanut butter. Also, we're absolutely going to get that orange and cream soda because I'm an adult and I can do what I want. Pretty much. It's the moral of our story, kids. So, I have tried and I've tried and I've tried. And I have failed repeatedly. And I gotta tell you, I got like a low tolerance for failure. Like, I can only fail so many times. Don't mind me, I'm in my kitchen and flipping my screen. Sorry. I can only fail so many times before I'm just fucking over it. So, I haven't given up, right, on trying to get into the trades at this point. But I am realistic enough to know that if it hasn't happened by now, it easily... Sorry about that. One more scoop of peanut butter. That's what I said like 2 scoops ago, right? I'm realistic enough to know that if it hadn't happened by that point, it might not happen, right? And I needed to be like mentally prepared for that. And I'm the kind of person who likes to, that's part of why I like to think about things ahead of time. Because, like, if I'm wrong, no harm, no foul. Cool, I'm wrong. It worked out. Everything is great. If I expect it to work out and it doesn't, that could be potentially devastating. And I don't even mean that to be dramatic. It sounds dramatic, but it's, for me, no. Hello, emotional dysregulation. And rejection sensitive dysphoria. If you don't know what those are, look them up. Google is your friend. It will tell you things. I can tell you from personal experience that living with those things blows really badly. Don't recommend. So, all while I'm working at Amazon, all while I'm working at A, all while I'm working at B, I'm trying to get into the electrical field. And when I went to B, I kind of like gave it up. So the last ditch effort I had was to join the union. Now, I'm pro-union because unions have done great things for workers and made things safer and better. And that fucking matters. But I really didn't want to pay somebody to work. Basically. That's it. That's the thing right there. So, and I didn't want anybody dictating my work any more than my employer was going to. And like, my understanding was basically if they say this is the job that we're offering you, you kind of have to take it. I don't like that idea. That's what happens when you get a little taste of freedom too. It fucks everything up. Which is part of why we're in this like job employment crisis right now. Is that people got a taste of not having to slave constantly for other people. And lo and behold, they liked it. And they discovered that a lot of people could work from home and like still do the job, and people preferred that. And so getting people to come back and work under those conditions again is like, good luck. Not doing so well. So, and look, I understand that the whole job, employment, economic situation it's a bit more complicated than that. There's a lot of factors. Ooh, I found a brick. Shit. Bam. But, anyway. I'm still working on that one right there. I don't like to have a bunch of tasks that take a really long time happening at the same time because I only got, can I get more people? 1 extra gnome worker for a week? No, thank you. Things I won't do. Pay for gameplay. Seriously, though. I don't have to. I can totally play this game without buying anything. I've managed, actually. What was it? What did I buy stuff for? Oh, I bought stuff for something that actually ended up paying me back money. That's why I bought it. So remember how I said I wasn't going to have any more peanut butter? That was a fucking lie. It's a total fucking lie. 100%. Okay, now I'm probably not going to have any more because I'm having trouble getting the spoon to the bottom of the peanut butter jar. Because it's a baby spoon. Like, not in the strictest sense, like itty bitty, like rubber coated spoon. Not like that, but it's like a toddler spoon. It's really fucking short. Did I just say I'm a toddler? I mean, maybe. Maybe. So, getting into the electrical, that left me going with the union. I interviewed. By the way, I don't interview well at all. Um, I don't know what it is about me that doesn't translate well in an interview. But there's something. And I'm not saying I would change anything about myself because at this point in my life, fuck it. But I will say it's very inconvenient for my personality to like be the problem, if you will. Oh fucking well. Alright. So I know one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start moving things. What happens if I move this here? Fuck it. Ooh. Ooh. Nice. Create object. Sounds terrible. Create object. It's make a Peter Pan. It's not. You're not creating an object. You're making a person. But it's terrible. Oh well. Oh well. Alright, so. Ooh, hey. Let's claim all these things. So, we've given up. And going to the union was the last bit. Like, I just wanted to outright get a job. Like, find someone who needed work or a worker and work for them. Because, holy crap. That's not hard, right? Just the fuck it isn't. There we go. So, oh, hey. Okay, so I need 3 of those to make 1 Peter Pan. Let's see who that is, by the way. So we got the Sleepy Princess, Puss in Boots, Paul Bunyan, A Little Mermaid, and Peter Pan. And I guess next is a Red Riding Hood. I'm guessing that's a Rapunzel, Pinocchio, maybe Aladdin, or Sinbad. And oh goodness, sorry about that. Actually, on that note, hold on 1 second. Okay. So, yeah, I know that I don't know if you saw that. That's my hey, bitch, get up so you can go to the gym. Obviously, we're not doing that because I don't feel well. So, I just took a moment to turn off all of my alarms because fuck all. So, the union was my last ditch effort to get into the electrical field. Like, what I wanted to do wasn't working out. Um, so that was the avenue left. Part of the union involved you basically going for an interview, right? I thought I did all right. Apparently, I don't know what I'm talking about, which sounds legit because I didn't get chosen. Now, it could also be, hey, you just there was somebody who was slightly better, and if we put you against somebody else, maybe you would have done better. Maybe, maybe not. But I was also green, and I'm sure that that wasn't an attractive idea for them. And so, if you have somebody who has some experience versus somebody who doesn't, I get you're going to go with the person who does. Now, the only problem I have with that is I'm actually a really good worker and I'm actually very competent and all that jazz. But if you don't give me a chance, you don't get to see that. Which is that's the thing, right? So, which is why you know who you know, like who you know matters. Because if you just need a chance and you can get somebody to take a chance on you, you can make some shit happen doing that, right? But you have to be able you have to be able to do that. And I think it's also to a degree a little harder to just know the right people because some of that is out of your hands. Like if you don't run into the right people, right? Like knowing the right people is going to just be hard to do. Like if or geographically speaking, that can put you at a disadvantage, right? I think we're going to have to. I don't think there's anything really else we can merge at a 5 level. We've got these coins. I need one more coin. I don't think I have another copper coin. This, ore, basically. I don't actually know if that's what it is. It's in the thing, it tells you what it is. Now, what we can do, we're feeling dangerous, we're feeling lazy. There we go. And that, peeps, is how I like to do that. But, yeah. Okay, I guess we're gonna have to get into these things. So let's go over here. Oh, I forgot. I forgot we had these things. Totally forgot. I totally forgot those were things. Oh my gosh. So, like I said, who you know matters, and it can get you quite a ways. Now, it's best if you can follow through, right? So, if you know the right people but you can't follow through, you're not going to get very far. If you follow through but you don't know the right people, you're not going to get very far. So, trying on my own didn't work. And I got just tired of try, fail, try, fail, try, fail. because I've been doing a lot of that, and there's only so much I can take, right? So I had gone to the union. Ooh, purple. These make the gems. Um, with the hopes of getting in there. That didn't work, which is why I accepted job B. So I schmoozed my way into that. I still kind of don't understand how I managed that because I think for all intents and purposes, I shouldn't have gotten that job. Because I was going into something that I knew like nothing about, right? Had no experience in, didn't have any tools. Like, I think part of the only reason I got that job was because they really needed somebody, which is terrible, but is also kind of a fact. Okay, so I've been there and I've been trying to make this work. Now, the trades, electrical, HVAC, etc., you can rise to a degree. Like you start as an apprentice, like officially, right? You get to journeyman and you can go to master from there. Now, if you have been in this stream long enough, which I don't think you have, unless you're watching this later, um, then you know that I'm team fucking go all the way. So, if I, if there's an option for mastery and like doing the most with a field, yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna do. Now, I didn't want to specifically work for myself in a trade, okay? I already work for myself. I don't need another fucking business venture. So I probably would have gotten to journeyman and just fucking stayed there. But at that level, you can make decent money. And I was like, all right, cool. So I can handle this work, like aptitude wise. Um, I can manage to do this and do it reasonably well and do it for a while and can make adjustments as needed. Right? So great, fine, awesome. Except for I couldn't get into the field. And so then what? Then what indeed? So I find myself in this other field, just finding, pursuing, electrical or HVAC, and I was trying to add plumbing into there. And I might still add like a little bit of knowledge in there just because I like to learn stuff, but not with the expectation that anything's going to happen from it. Really, ow, fuck, feet hurt. Um, but it just didn't get anywhere. And I can't just wait. Like, I gotta make stuff happen. So, I am just waiting. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting. Right, like nothing is happening. So I negotiate for job B. Now, we've already taken 2 pay cuts. And the only thing that I'm like really justifying this as, okay, I can deal with this, is my commute keeps getting smaller and smaller. And I can't really argue with that. It's the trade-off. To at least some degree. So, fine. Well, when I started, the understanding to me was that I could learn and rise through the ranks. Now, I would not be able to manage quite the same as I would be working in the trades. But I definitely could do better than what I started at. So it seemed. Can and actually are going to is not the same thing. So it turns out that while this is possible, it's extremely unlikely. I've been working where I've been working, right, for 8 months, and they've been dangling a raise over our heads, not specifically just me. They keep saying something about raises and then putting it off and not doing it. Um, I was told that I could get some education. My former boss didn't follow through with any of that. So like whatever I needed to know, whatever I needed to do to make that happen, yeah, he was not supportive of that. Um, and so I was just left up shit creek basically, like having no idea how to go from where I was. And look, having asked and pursued uh information through him about it, and it just kept getting nowhere, right? And so that happened. Joy. We need, oh sweet, another one of these. Another one of these. Don't I have some more coconut trees? I do, right here. Coconut palms. Hooray. Um, but like it's now outlived its usefulness. Is basically what's happened. So I left nursing originally because it was a dead end. Where I was at, I couldn't progress past unless I went to college. And like the first step would have been to get an associate's degree. I mean LPN. And then the next step after that would be to get an RN. And then after that, the next step for me would be for me to become a nurse practitioner. Because again, right, top of the heap. Well, I didn't want to go back to school. Like I've never been super into nursing, and I'm not a fan of just taking a job because it's there. Like if I take a job, I need to want to do it. I need to have some level of enjoyment in it because I've worked enough jobs where I didn't enjoy it and it was literally just a paycheck. And I got to tell you, there is a shelf life for that kind of work for me. I can only stand to be so unhappy for so long before I'm just like, fuck this noise, I'm out. Which is like where I've gotten to at this point. So, raises keep getting dangled. I'm not learning anything new. And at this point, I'm now just tired. I'm just tired of working there. Um, I'm seeing no benefit other than literally collecting a paycheck. And then they started making changes to how they wanted to do business, to the expectations they had of the workers. And like now things are getting bad because we're shorthanded. They're expecting a heavier workload on the people they do have. And they're not willing to bring in more people because they have to justify the numbers. But if you had more people, you could probably more easily like you got to invest money to make money, like you got to invest in workers to like increase your productivity, right? What is this? Oh, I didn't even realize this was a thing. Okay, cool. No, I don't want to take no damn survey. So, this is basically the final straw. Um, like, here we are. Well, I had been thinking about going back into the medical field. Let me be clear, not because I wanted to, but because it was a sensible decision. I've worked in the medical field before. I've spent most of my working life in the medical field, right? It's a place that I'm familiar with. I know I can do the job. I know I can function there to at least a degree. And I guess the real nail in the coffin is I had to get surgery. It's not life-threatening or anything, but this problem isn't going to fix itself. The only fix is surgery. And while I was looking into this, friend has had said surgery, and so when I brought it up, they were like, "You do know that's going to put you like out of work for weeks because unlike friend, I work a physically demanding job, right? Which means recuperation and taking time off from work is not optional. Like, that's going to be required. I'm absolutely not going to be able to dip around that. And because of that, I think we're finally getting tired. This is terrible. This is terrible timing. This is exactly how it happens, though. But because of that, this is just where we are with it. And that's just, I mean, that's just it, right? So, I considered going back to the medical field. Like, I've considered a couple, like, since I've let my nursing license lapse, I have considered going back to nursing and trying again and moving forward. I have also considered getting into the medical field in a different, a different part of it. Like, these have been things I've been thinking about. And for those who are for those who are playing along at home, I absolutely have been considering this for weeks. But the need for surgery and the idea that I was going to have to take time off and the idea that if I basically, whoa, that's a lot of kittens. Like, if I worked an office job, this wouldn't be a problem, right? Like, I could go back to work basically as soon as possible. And that would not be an issue because my job is not going to be physically demanding. And I was just like, well, that's unfortunate, right? So I was like, well, if you're going to just get a job that allows you to keep working, right, while you're recuperating, you should probably just get that job and keep it. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's probably right. So that kind of started it. What is there? Oh, okay. So because I took the electrical program and HVAC program and the heavy equipment program, like I knew that they had other programs. So I decided, I guess pretty much yesterday, that going back into the medical field and going into um, medical assisting is the route we need to go, because what we're doing right now isn't working and we need more than this. And so, right, go seek more. And so that's what I'm going to do. And I kind of hate to do it because it kind of feels like, oh, you're giving up on stuff. And I'm like, I mean, I'm not really giving up on stuff. Like, I get it. But it's not really what's happening. Just making the best decision I can. So, I think my brain is fully exhausted. You know, now that I've stayed up and now that it's time to get up, I'm tired. So, I'm going to try and get some sleep because I can breathe a little bit better. And I hope that you enjoyed the chatter. And we'll be back to tell more adventures of me changing job fucking industries again and going back to what I know and how it's working out as it goes along. I know that was like the most drawn out story ever. But like there's a lot of twists and turns that happen with it. Living that barred life over here. So I will catch y'all later. And y'all have a good night, morning, afternoon, whatever time of the day it is for you. And I am outie. Toodles.